Let me show you how to save a ton of money making these paper bag stars. These are large decorations that you can put out for the holidays. I'm gonna add hot glue to one of my bags and then place on another bag directly on top. You want 4 bags in a pile. Now create another pile of 4 bags. Now that I have all of my bags together, on the side where it's open, I'm gonna create a point. I'm gonna do the same thing on my other set of bags, so I'll place where I already cut on top of the other bag. Now you can create fun notches in the bags. Repeat those same steps by putting this bag on top so you can cut the notches in the same places. This is what they look like. Now I'm gonna hot glue this bag on top of this bag. Now for the fun part, I'm going to fan it open and pull it around so it connects to the other side. And then I'm gonna hot glue these two together. How cute is this? So I'll put hot glue on one of my ends and I'll pull it around and hold it in place. Look how cute that is, and it only took 8 lunch bags. I wanted to share with you guys some quick tips to help you put together garland on your mantle. I know this can be intimidating for a lot of people, so here are my tips. First, how are you going to hang whatever garland you put on your mantle? The best thing to get are command hooks. I like to get the larger ones, the ones that will hold up to around 4 pounds. I put 2 on the end of my mantle, and then I usually put 2 in the middle. Now we have to add on our garlands. Now I find the best thing to do when putting on garlands is to layer. I like to start with a base layer garland that kind of hangs and drapes down. This kind of gives a little bit more dimension to the bottom of your garland. This one I'm putting on is from Amazon, and I'll link it for you down below. Next, I like to layer 2 inexpensive garlands on top, and I'll just find the middle of it and then drape it over. Once I have those 2 top layer garlands on, I have 3 full garlands on there. I think the key whenever you guys are seeing these really gorgeous garlands is they're usually layering multiple garlands. After you get them on here, this is the most important part. You want to take the branches and mix them together. So move the branches around so that your garland looks like one big garland. Once you incorporate the branches together, you're not even going to be able to tell that they're separate garlands. If you have a mantle where you're going to be placing stockings, now's a good time to put your stockings on. I do it the exact same way. I use a command hook and I place them underneath my garland. These stockings I picked up at Walmart, and I will show you how I added the ornaments to them last year. I'm gonna place all 4 of my stockings on, trying to get them to be similar spacing. Now here's a tip whenever you're hanging up your stockings. You wanna make sure that you take your next stocking and overlap over your previous stocking. What that's going to do is it's going to hold your stockings in place. If you don't overlap them, they tend to just kind of go to the front and they don't look as cute. So just make sure that you overlap a little bit. You can see each one of these stockings is overlapping the previous one, and they just hang so much nicer. Next is the fun part. This is where you get to customize your garland depending on your taste taste or colors that you want to add in. I typically like to go in next with picks. I'm going to be putting in some pine cone picks, and I'm also going to add in different pine cones. A couple of my garlands had pine cones on there, but I like to add in a few extra. I'm also going to be adding in some gold picks because I'm going with kind of a gold, red, and green color scheme this year. Sometimes I will add on ornaments. This year I'm going to be adding on these gold vintage bells. I will link them for you down below. They are perfect on the tree or the mantle. Now I'm gonna stop there. I may add on some more ornaments in the future that I DIY, but this is a great base and honestly a beautiful garland for the season. A tradition I have in my house every year around the holidays is to give Chex Mix out as a gift. It's a great alternative when everyone's giving sweets, you can give out something savory. I've tried a bunch of recipes over the years, but honestly, my favorite recipe is the one on the back of the Chex Mix box. This is the best recipe and the one I recommend using. You can always tweak it a little bit as well. Now, the easiest way to make this is in the microwave. You can put it in the oven, but honestly, you don't need to. You can make it in the microwave. So you're gonna need 3 different kinds of Chex Mix. You're gonna need the corn, the rice, and the wheat Chex. So you're gonna start by adding all your dry ingredients to a large bowl. Add in 3 cups of each of these. Now I also add in 1 cup of mixed nuts. If you don't like nuts, you could leave this out or try something else. Then you're gonna add in 1 cup of bite-sized pretzels. And the best part that you cannot forget is 1 cup of the bagel chips. Honestly, sometimes I put in 2 cups. The cool thing about this recipe is you can add more or less depending on what your preferences are. So those are all your dry ingredients. Now in a smaller bowl, you wanna melt 6 tablespoons of butter. Next, you're gonna add in 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, 1.5 teaspoons of seasoned salt, 3/4 teaspoons of garlic powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. Mix that all together. You're gonna put half of it on the top of your Chex Mix and then mix that together and then put the rest of it on there and continue to mix it until you feel like everything is coated well. Then put your bowl in the microwave for 2 minutes. Take it out, stir it really well. The reason you want to stir in between it being in the microwave is so that the pieces don't burn together. So just stir it really well. Put it back in for 2 more minutes, stir it again, and then put it in for a final minute or 2 minutes. Once it comes out and it's been in the microwave for 6 minutes, you're just gonna put it out on a paper towel so it can cool down. And then once it's cooled down, you can either put it in a big tub for your family or to give it out individually. A great idea is to put them in these large mason jars. And then tie it off with a bow. Hey guys, I'm Liz and you're watching my second DIY channel where I post daily DIY videos. You may be familiar with my main channel, Liz Fenwick DIY, but I'm glad that you found me over here on my second channel. Make sure that you're subscribed so you just get notified every day when I post our daily DIY video.